Hello, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Hello and welcome to this EON-XR Global User Webinar. My name is Marcin Kasica. I'm Director of Global Education and Training at EON Reality, and I'm also part of the Customer Success Department at EON, the group of the people who helping you within the implementation of EON-XR technologies within your organizations. So today we have this monthly workshop, and I'm doing this recording once again, at least the first part of it, because there was some problems with the recording during the live event. So please excuse me for that. But today I want to focus on the role of the artificial intelligence, AI, in the extended reality content creation with the use of the tool that everyone in here as a global users of EON-XR should have, called EON-XR platform. So the platform that is designed to support the knowledge transfer, that is realizing the EON's vision to learn, train, perform, and collaborate, and make the knowledge accessible, available to everyone in the planet, make it a human right. All right, so let's dig into this topic today, and I think what's the best way to start these conversations, these discussions, and this webinar, then introducing to one of the possible understandings of this term called artificial intelligence. AI, artificial intelligence, become very hype word right now, very popular, lots of people using it around the world and in a different kind of a context. And let me do it like that. Okay. So, and what you have also is this probably awareness of some of the solutions that become very popular recently, called the ChatGPT, which everyone is talking about how easy it is to generate the text, that it's hard to recognize it if it was created by the machine or by the human, how easy and fast it could be to generate information, collect information, and form them into the format of even the research paper or reports or anything like that. And AI, of course, is growing and changing all the time. And it is as per the definition, the simulation of a human intelligence process. And it's simulation of the human intelligence process done by the machine, and especially used by the computer system. So if that it is so, and it's already using those different elements of expert systems, natural language processing, speech recognition, and machine vision, what is then a possibility of this technology in regards to the knowledge creation and the knowledge transfer with the use of another natural interfaces focused technology, which is extended reality or virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality all together, which we encapsulate into this term called XR, extended reality. And as you already probably are the EON-XR users, I would just want to highlight that the EON-XR as a platform is developing in the area of a content creation and knowledge transfer already for some time. We, as you might be aware, we already have been providing this and changing it from a Creator AVR some years ago right now to the EON-XR, and building up more of the functionality, allowing in a much more easier, interactive, intuitive way to create a content. To create the content that is used for knowledge transfer, knowledge collection, and in different aspects related to the either teacher students or teacher learner, and also in a flipped classroom format when the learners can create for the teacher and instructors. And I will be using those different terms on multiple occasions because it's not only an educational purpose for the teacher and the student, but also from an enterprise point of view more often as well right now that this technology could be used to collect that knowledge, to store the knowledge about the processes, about the technologies, about the environment's behaviors, and so forth. All right, so what is already been developed in EON-XR and what our developers developing even as per now? And I'm sure some of you already tested it, and I will be rolling out during this webinar some of the small surveys to find out how many of you actually tried already to use this new technologies, and also get to a little bit know more about how I can tailor my presentations. So within the content creation process with EON-XR, you're already probably aware that we can incorporate the elements like an audio, like a video, like a text, displayed of the text, like the information of like an image, two-dimensional images, three-dimensional models, and so on. And already utilizing AI for some time, and including the aspects like content search and using this SERP technology, which is the search engine response page, to provide us this information as information that is attached as annotation or provided as an element of the lesson plan. We already are using AI into regards to streaming the assets in and out, and being able to dynamically import export conversions being done based on the need, based on the inputs in the natural language from the user. We already have a text-to-speech system that allows us to use this natural language outputs and convert, if we don't like our voice being recorded, to convert the text that is written into some voices and multiple accents, multiple languages already. Voice recognition and other aspects of the going and building this whole technology towards the seamless and collaborative between the AI and XR technology, allowing a human to interact with the machine, with our mobile devices, more towards the recognizing our natural voice and being able to transcribe that, translate that, and provide that as a different formats of information in the created experiences. Image recognition functionality already in the application. I will also demonstrate that at some point within the webinar. That is already an element of AI technology that has been developed for many years, related to the using of our mobile cameras to recognize the image and identify the keywords, identify the knowledge that is attached to the similar objects like the one which we taken a photo of. The digital twin creation related to the EON Merged XR product and being able to include and incorporate a 3D scanned model, as well as map them and align them to the reality, and in using some of the basic scanning functionality within the applications, within the devices that supports this, like on Android, this is the AR Core technology. On the iOS, this is a AR Kit technology, and being able to scan your environments and map the objects to the reality, so the virtual to the or augmented to the real. Positional tracking, we'll look into this, something called the special anchoring, and using the latest, of course, and the existing functionalities of a mobile device related to the image recognition, positional tracking, and also GPS data. That right now we will be able to set up our 3D environments, set up our 3D objects, learning assets and resources into the context of the real environments in a real position that it might or should be presented, as well as guiding our instructions and our avatars, which we're going to talk in a moment, also within that. And speaking about the avatars, also there is already an ability to build this, an importance that in this human-computer interactions, we build something which is once again focused on the natural aspects and more personalized aspects. And for that, we have those avatars that are already customizable, that will be and are able to use the movements based on the knowledge, for instance, pointing, directing, presenting, highlighting different aspects of the contextual knowledge, as well as providing that with the different voices. And I want to do the one thing in here is I have a few surveys prepared, as I mentioned before, and one of the survey for you guys right now to fill in is the survey about, have you already tried to use the avatar and in your application and create your own avatars and utilize your own avatars in the EON-XR application. So I'm going to do this survey, and actually in a second we're going to switch right now to the live recorded session that was done during the webinar. So please stay tuned and watch the remaining part of the webinar that was a live recording. Thank you. Yeah. I do believe there was some problems with the recording. I get the message. So, okay. So for the recording purposes, also providing you these results. So approximately 52% has been created an avatar, and altogether 48 has not, or don't know how to do it. So there is already these functionalities and list of the functionalities you can see, and I will try to make it sure we're doing in a practical format that are there related to the abilities of the more personalized presentation of ourselves as a teachers, ourselves as a learners, or as ourselves in a multi-user collaborative environments. And so that's one of the things. There is one more I want to go with, is you're probably aware that there are lots of different products that we have announced, and there is the something called the Metaverse Builder that currently is the product that allowing you to use this multi-object based experiences, that you can create the environments, that you can create individual components, and you can inject the knowledge to many objects at the same time, and also link them together in some way. I just want to also check if you already had a chance to try our EON Metaverse Builder, or if you have not. Let's just collect a little bit of info here. So in this, actually, I see that majority of the people has not, or they are not sure if they try to do it. That's also a good outcome, because it gives me a highlight what I should be focusing on. Let's do it 10 more seconds, and we'll close this survey. Okay, brilliant, thank you. So also, just for everybody benefits, I mean, 30% of the people said they already tried to use this multi-user, multi-object creation process with the EON Metaverse Builder, and majority of the people has not, which is also a good thing. That means you are in the right place to recognize those functionalities as an EON-XR user, and being able to learn something together with me. Great. So let's focus on those functionalities, and those all functionalities are there to also, and still existing challenges, and that comes from multiple implementation meetings, that you as the users are sometimes not aware of all of the functionalities, but if you're already aware of those functionalities, you're starting to kind of looking into okay, how can I personalize my experience in this technology using my mobile device? How can I make the assets, more of those assets, how I can get those assets and the content that suits more my pedagogical or educational needs? And also how to make the whole process faster, easier, without the necessity of building up advanced pre-knowledge before we can do that. So we'll focus on that, and later on we will also use and see why and how the specifically AI is being used. And just to kind of, and don't worry, I'm not going to be focusing on the slides that much, but I want to highlight also the fact that the AI, in some respect, and it's called a weak AI, has been already existing, and possibly many of us already use some sort of an AI assistance or smart assistance in our mobile devices, or on our mobile devices, as well as in our home appliances, even smart TVs. And there could be the Amazon's Alexa, Apple's Siri, Microsoft Cortana in the past, or a Google Assistant, and there are many others that has been developed and created. And probably we were at the beginning quite amazed with the fact that the devices were focused on the ability to conversate with us and having this natural conversation format, but they were very limited, and they are still quite limited. So within that, there is a more of the AI development towards the generating content, towards the prediction methods, to use this machine learning, image-based learning, and the processing power of the computers towards smarter artificial intelligence, or strong AI, as it is called, or I actually took the notes myself. It's called also artificial generated intelligence, AGI, as a stronger AI. And those engines are linked towards the various aspects related to the machine learning, automation, robotics, etc. But from our perspective, from the perspective of this session, what I want to demonstrate and what I want to discuss with you is the use of AI-generated content in the knowledge creation, knowledge transfer, and providing the knowledge instantly to anyone at any point, at any need, to just show you that EON-XR is an integration process that allows you to do it much more quicker. And here are some of the images of the solutions that AI can right now generate the text, AI can generate the images, AI can generate even the 360 pictures, which I will show you. AI can generate a voice and in even kind of mimic our voice or mimic the voices of famous people, as well as the AI can generate videos, which what comes next is also the AI will be able to support us in generating the animation, generating 3D models, computer animation. In that case, that will close the whole ecosystem towards the EON-XR being an easy to use, open and fast creating content as well. So this is also, I mentioned it to give you an idea that the EON-XR is focused on that. All right, we'll kind of come back to that later on. But right now I want to concentrate and demonstrate you some of the practicalities. And you're probably aware that EON-XR is a cloud-based solution that is predominantly focused on the mobile devices, but you can also create your content on the platform, on the website. And lots of those functionalities exist on both. But I want to focus on the mobile for the one major reason. Or two reasons, I should say. A is the fact that the mobile devices are the ones which we have on with ourselves all the time, and we're using them for various purposes. And I want to show how we can use with the support of AI for more smarter purposes. And the second of all, because the Metaverse Builder is the solution that we will be using that is based on the mobile device. So when you're going to be logging into the platform, everything looks the same. Or actually, we improving, of course, the user interface. Actually, I have here we have the application. We're improving the user interface and the version, allowing us right now to see more. Depends, of course, on the settings that your lead administrators will apply, and we will be happy to support them to have a similar view as it is in here. We have an ability, of course, to browse the library. Browse the library of existing content, but more powerful is the ability to create own content by this little plus sign on the top, on the bottom right corner, or a create button if you're still using the previous user interface. And there is a new thing called the Metaverse Builder. And maybe before we're going to start to create with Metaverse Builder, I want to also highlight the fact that within your profile settings, we have ability, and for those who have not tried to create and utilize the avatar, so we're building this personalized experience on EON-XR also with the support of the 3D avatars. And those avatars, you can create your own avatars. We integrated some technology called the Ready Player Me avatar creation process. And in this here, I have already multiple avatars, but we have an ability to create the avatars which will represent us and our 3D recordings in the applications, in the experiences. I'll demonstrate that. And this is my male avatar presented here, and I have an ability to customize that or setting that as my own avatar, as well as there is a new type of the avatar called AI Assistant. And that, on the other hand, will be an interface or a face of the artificial intelligence that is already incorporated into the application, where we will be able to have a conversation, ask questions, or even go through the full process of a content creation step by step, because that's where the EON-XR is heading towards. All right, so just to give you an idea, if you haven't created your avatar from your profile settings in either from a mobile device, you can go to your profile, as well as on the web if you are using a web platform, if you go to the EON-XR, if you're gonna log into your platform under your user, there is a profile settings providing you ability to set up a 3D avatar and go through this process exactly the same like on mobile, but on the desktop solution. All right. And I'm just checking here if there are any questions in here or any comments. So far, so good. Let's move on. All right, so creation process and metaverse builder. And when we selecting this option, first thing you're going to notice that the application starts already in augmented reality mode. As you can see here, in my case, I have a multiple monitor, and welcome to my home office, which is actually based in my basement. And first thing I'm actually having when I'm using this application, and I can use it exactly the same on Android or iOS devices. There is a restriction only that you need to have an AR core. If you're using Android, you have to have a device that supports AR core technology, which is a specific technology. And the first process in creating our avatars, and by the way, you can see I'm having a little green room here, is to place your avatar. So this is where the starts.
What do you want to learn about today?
And even before I'm going to go to creating something, I just wanted to check with you if you were able to hear that audio. That was the avatar talking, asking me what I would like to learn today. All right, brilliant. So that means we have the audio feedback. So what you can see at the very beginning, that one of the first elements in the process of starting the application is the ability to present the avatar, and the avatar is a virtual alter ego of artificial intelligence asking me what I would like to do. There is additional panels, as you can see here.
I'm your AI guide. You can ask me anything.
You can see already that it is an interactive persona, a virtual persona that giving me ability via AI portal to have a conversations, to still use the existing functionality related to the 3D objects that we're going to import in a moment, as well as giving me ability to generate a content and also guide me, assist me in the process of learning and gathering information and creating information as well, or creating the knowledge as well. All right, so in here, I can ask anything the AI, so I can have a typical conversations with AI already. Tell me what is the most important elements of the, I don't know, microcomputers. And if I will have that conversation once again, and there is no definitive answer, I have to just do it again. Tell me about the microcomputers. And if I will have a topic that I'm interested in, I purposely want to do the microcomputer because it's something.
Microcomputers are computers with a microprocessor, their central processing unit, CPU. They are sometimes called personal computers, pieces, although this designation is.
And of course, the AI, depending, of course, how it develop, how it become better and better, is able to have some sort of a text and audio-based conversation with me on the format where I'm asking a question and it provides me some data, some information. And that is what it exists right now in the production version of our application that you have there. Plus, all the time in a metaverse builder, we have this ability to add those objects and using a plus sign on the bottom right corner to add a three-dimensional object to the real world, and also using a natural way, as you can see here, a natural way of communicating using voice. Arduino microcomputer. So if I'm using some kind of a keywords right now, so this is where when I was mentioning about the different methodologies for searching the data and solving or focusing on this challenge related to the content, finding a content, utilizing the content, in the existing version, we can of course use the library, and we can always utilize the mobile device functionality, Arduino. And using, for instance, something that may be existing in the XR library already, and there are some of the models that are already existing in the XR library, search if there is something related in my asset. And because I'm actually a fan of a microcomputer myself, But I'm happy, of course, if you're going to post me on the chat some other topics also, and I will include in some of the demonstrations if you are interested in, and I will be happy to do so. But it already gives me the ability to choose different 3D models, or even using a Sketchfab, an online 3D library with the millions of models that can be easily selectable and chosen to be used inside the process of the knowledge generating. Plus, there is one more thing here to mention. You can see here there is one little tick box that many people are omitting, but it says auto-generate knowledge portal. So when importing a 3D model right now and pressing next, I can place this object somewhere, for instance, on my desk. Oh, download failed. Whoa, happens. Murphy's Law. Just a second, let's do it again. Let's go. Let's place the avatar again.
Hi. What do you want to learn about today?
Arduino. And that will already find me the model. I can put the assets here, choose the asset, for instance, and Arduino Nano, auto-generate the knowledge, placing the objects. And right now the Murphy's Law didn't work, so it's an IT crowd.
I'm your AI guy.
Because of the technical reasons, connectivity reasons, doesn't work. So switch it off, switch it on again, and then we have the object being presented. But not only that, but the AI is there and is ready to generate for me already these knowledge portals, as you can see it here, which consist automatically the video, image, and the text. That
Arduino Nano is a small, complete, and breadboard-friendly board based on the AT
and the text and audio-based kind of a content. So that's already an auto-generating content with a knowledge portal. Still the same, having those functionalities related to the abilities of creating my own annotations and content in here. But I will also talk about it a little bit further when we're going to go to the newest elements of the release that is going to happening, as far as I'm aware, on the next week, on the beginning of next week, we are planning to have a major release of a version 9.7, which I will already give you a sneak peek preview on that, and being able, for instance, to add your here already annotation, reset button. So as you can see, AI already is using some of the algorithm related to the voice recognition. Those voice recognition can be happened also in multiple languages. So it's another thing, is also a natural language recognition. We have, similar to the experiences that you might know from the desktop computers, you're still able to generate an audio, generate images, videos, include your PDF or voice memos or voice recording. But here already including something like a ChatGPT, which we can ask a question in much more natural way. So for instance, provide me with the 5 learning objectives that the person should follow when learning about the microcomputers like Arduino. And so I can provide a very specific question, and here on the back end, we have a support of this similar like a ChatGPT OpenAI technology that can generate the information for us.
1. Understand the basic components of a microcomputer like Arduino 2. Understand how to set up and program an Arduino microcomputer 3. Understand the capability.
So that's a text already generated. So that's a possibility. Plus there are multiple languages depending on your device settings, the multiple voices, multiple accents. So in a way, you have an example here of the solution, which is based on the text-to-speech conversion. Plus image searching, we have also the ability to finalize or a reset button, and I can put here information like this. I can type that in or use my voice on Arduino Uno board. So I can specify or change my question to be more precise, and in this case, once again, be with the support of a SER, which is a search engine response pages, providing you more advanced and more adequate type of the information that you would like to, for instance, add to your experience that you, from a perspective of a teacher, you would like your students to follow, or from a perspective in a flipped classroom format, from a perspective of the student to present to your teacher and to your tutor. Plus, once again, just to give you an idea, ability to select the PDFs, and I think I have on my iPad as a preparation, I already downloaded some of the PDFs here, I think, PDFs. And I have some PDF about the Arduino, and I can use the existing training materials that you might have as a traditional methods in training delivery, and adding it and building that knowledge and knowledge portal. As you can see, those little icons popping up on the bottom here, providing us not only a video, but also image, also and a PDF, and after a moment, the PDF will be presented here that we can even see in a full screen mode and browse through that. So anything that we know from a traditional learning process, like notes, audio recordings, video, using that, it's already being provided in a much more faster and simple way, and to build that knowledge and having this knowledge injected. So that's what is the possibility right now. Plus we can have a multiple 3D objects in here, classroom. So I can use additional 3D models and add to existing 3D model, to existing scenario, additional elements like a classroom. Now I'm going to point it on the ground here, which will be downloaded, as you can see. And together with this model that already exists, another 3D model popping up, which I can make at any scale I want. I can have right now, as you can see, each model individually existing and supported by AI, as well as being surrounded by the environments that I would like to use in here for that purposes as well. So multi-module experience with the multi-object environments. That's what it is, the Metaverse Builder, and still supported with the AI. I just want to check if there are any questions in the meantime. You still guys can hear me, see me, everything is good? Just making sure we're still away. All right, thank you. All right, so what else? So additionally to what I'm presenting in here, so providing ability, we have ability even to use something called the suggesting question. So based on the object that we're selecting in this multi-object, we can use and have a generated question. Because I had selected this classroom, the question here are suggested based on the classroom, right? The other option is if I will have selected the Arduino board, and I will suggesting a question about the Arduino, then AI will automatically put its own presence as an avatar in a position and ask me, for instance, saying, what are the features of the Arduino? And I can have the conversation
Some
even
of the
without
key features of the
question.
Arduino Nano include small form factor, low power consumption, onboard USB connectivity, compatibility with a wide range of shields and accessories.
So we can have already the AI being able to talk about the objects and suggest us the question. Plus, additionally, what I would like to do is if we have to any of the objects, if we have adding some specific annotations, for instance, in here, we have a power, and I will add just even the annotation as a simple thing and saying, for instance, here, adding another annotation, chip. No, but the annotation is wrong, so I will have to edit that annotation because my pronunciation wasn't correct. So I will put in here microchip or something. Then I can use also another AI feature, and I want to show you something here. So if I have in my real life some of the object, and I'm going to show you here on the webcam, that, for instance, I'm having the microcomputer like that as a physical object. There is even a possibility that with the physical object, and let me just for a moment take the classroom smaller so you will be able to see my real wall. So I'm going to actually put that in here. So I can also use the artificial intelligence based on the objects, based on the scenery. Here I can use this artificial intelligence to generate an annotation, Arduino Mega. And if I want to, I can just take it and use it like, for instance, the picture of the object. And if I will take even the picture of the virtual object, and later on I will show you that the image recognition is already being used here to provide us with some possible, as you can see here, possible solutions to find necessary keywords. So that's one of the things. And I will show you one more thing, one more approach to the same challenge in here, that when we have the real objects in the real world, we have ability to create AI generated annotations, example annotation. When I even don't know what it is, I can take a photo of a real object. I'm just going to put it in here, of the real object. And within the same application, the image recognition is able to provide me information or like a keywords that can help me to generate a necessary knowledge, once again, based on the similar concept of the providing some fun fact, providing images, providing videos, providing PDF. It depends how I'm going to form this question. And I can, for instance, even rephrase the question in here in my own words. Provide me an example of the description for Arduino Mega 2560. And I can have that information. I'm using electronics, but the key thing is we can actually have a conversation about any topic: social sciences, physics, philosophy, anything you can name it, the mechanical engineering, health system, healthcare, nursing, whatever you call it. And once again, using the similar process of using an images and others object that we can add and build those knowledge portals on top of the objects like this. Okay. And those will be kind of coming up, and those will be available inside the application. There is few more things I want to show you today, and I'm going to right now do a little bit of exploration with you. And in some of the elements, what I will show you as a side note or maybe small print, I'm going to be using something that is not yet fully available with you, but I already would like to try to show you how it works. And hopefully that will be, because our developers works on daily basis preparing those release for next week. I'm hoping it's going to be okay. But also, in sense of the using of AI in a generating content, we can't forget about the very important aspect of the being able to produce something tangible, something like a report, for instance. And within the application, as you can see, I have already a report created by the artificial intelligence support inside EON-XR that includes all of the content, all of the conversations, and all of the elements that I have chosen already within the or decided to use with the conversation with AI agent, as well as providing me some sort of example of an essay report, an example of the lesson plan that will be focusing on this functionality, example of a syllabus as well, and something which is quite useful, as I said, the learning objectives. It's very important from an educational and pedagogical point of view, including even the assessment elements, which we will explore from a point of view of AI-supported assessment in a moment as well. So those are already documents that can be available, can be downloadable, including the statistics, how somebody use it, how somebody explore our experiences. So this is a metaverse builder, multi-user, AI-supported that exists right now. Now we're going to go, and I'm going to close this application. I'm going to use a little bit of testing application. So keep the fingers crossed, guys, because it's a testing app. It's not even a beta in here. It's very short to be deployed and provided to everyone in here, but it's still a testing version. So what I will do, I'm going to follow the similar process, but in this case, when starting an application, I'm no longer seeing the library. First thing I'm going to start with will be my assistant, avatar assistant within the application. So let's put this assistant in here.
Hi. What would you like to do? Create AI-generated show and teller experiences in the virtual world, explore AI guidance and assistance in real world, library, categorization, pre-built content, marketplace, and profile setting.
And we have the ability to choose either of using our voice or choosing the buttons in here. For instance, if I would like to do the create option, that will be based on some topics that I will be guided.
Please choose from the following segments or use the microphone to provide a topic of your choice.
So I could use either the education or enterprise, or I can name it something totally different if I will be interested in. So here, as you can see on the left-hand side where my mouse cursor, I will actually use my mouse here to highlight those here, education enterprise options. So we already have a predefined workflow for various educational levels, for various educational topics, and as well as for enterprise topic, where we can choose the different elements and different for being created, different knowledge to be created. So as you can see here, the list is quite large, and it's based on the technical educational topics, like you can see here, hospitality, criminal justice, electronic technology, probably I'm going to choose that in a moment, but many others, mathematical, science, engineering, social and behavioral sciences, health and human services. And giving an example, today I had a chance to utilize this with a nutrition, so with some professors of a Romanian university, which were interested in using it in the nutrition trainings about nutrition, fine arts, liberal arts, film, media, kinesiology, athletics, business, and many other topics can be used in here. As per the Salim's question, will the recording be available later? Yes. Can the avatar speak Jamaican, Creole? Okay, in that case, I have to admit, I'm not sure. I never tried it. I tried it with the various languages. I didn't try it with Jamaican, Creole language, and so I don't know. That depends also on the integration, because we integrate the third-party elements inside this tool, but definitely you can record your own audio with your own language, and that will be played for sure. So that is a possibility, as well as in regards to the typing, any kind of characters, special characters, either, I don't know, they come from a Cyrillic, from Arabic language, Russian language, or others, or even Chinese or Japanese or Korean characters, I'm 100% sure you can do that. Okay, Sandra? Okay, all right, brilliant. So when having some sort of a topic, and then here I can use, of course, anything like that, but even if being in the topic of the electrical engineering, there are multiple elements related to the electrical engineering, even as a subtopic, or I can go here when there was, I thought there is electronic technology, and there, for instance, there is a microcontroller programming, wireless communication system. And if I will say, for instance, digital logic or microcontroller programming, for instance, at this topic, or circuit design and analysis, or basic electronical components, whatever I'm going to choose, and I'm just going to press next. The AI will guide me.
You've
even
selected
further.
the topic Basic Electronics Components from the Education segment. Do you want to learn about the main components or a procedure of the chosen topic?
So once again, I can choose the option, and I choose the main components in here. And once again, without importing yet anything inside this experience, without having even a 3D model, I already will be exposed to lots of the contextual information being generated by the AI and being provided to me by an AI. Sometimes, as I said, it's a beta, so you can see it's working, but it should be providing me in a moment information.
Basic electronics components are the building blocks of electronic circuits. They include resistors, capacitors, transistors, diodes, and integrated circuits.
So you can see it's already providing me an image as a potential use for some explanation and basic explanations.
The resistor, one of the most basic electronic components, was invented by a man named Georg Simon Ohm in 1827. The unit of measurement for resistance, the ohm, is named after him.
So there is some fun fact about that already automatically generated, as well as...
Here is a video related to basic electronics components.
And we still have ability that this portal could be there provided on the background.
Please select the keywords you wish to use. You may choose more than one.
So we can choose right now this keywords, for instance, basic electronic components, and multiple keywords that could be generated. And based on that, if I say, for instance, basic electronics, that will be the next step in a creation.
A 3D object allows us to explore this subject further. If there is no suitable 3D model, you can choose a 2D image instead.
So as you can see in here, so it's already doing the similar process of finding a 3D assets in the library, which we can, of course, redefine the question if we would like to do it later on. For instance, transistor, and trying to find the object that might be based either in my assets, or if there is an XR library, the asset like that. It might be, for instance, already available that we would like to use some of the transistors that might in the library, or even import from the Sketchfab, and the Sketchfab do the typical search and there are some sort of transistors in here, or even using an image that will be two-dimensional type of the portal, which is kind of interesting as well, because we could use this transistor image and utilize it if there is no, and place it as an object, as a three-dimensional object in our real-world
Select
space.
which show and tell presentation you want to watch.
And for instance, I would like to go with the parts. And AI will still continue creating.
Here are some of the main components: resistors, limit current flow, capacitors, store electrical energy, transistors, amplify or switch signals, diodes, allow current flow one way, integrated circuits, combine multiple components, relays, switch electrical circuits, switches, open/closed circuits, LEDs, produce light, transformers, change voltage levels, fuses, protect circuits.
So, as you were
What
able
would you like to
view,
do next? Do you want to
you-
try out some assessments, explore components in more detail, or see a list of suggested questions? Ask
It
me
doesn't-
anything anytime by tapping the microphone button.
It doesn't happen very often that, because I talk a lot, that there is something that can talk more than I do. But on the other hand, their AI can be driven and can be suggested here and also driven in the process of providing me information. So as you can see, the next elements in this whole process is already AI suggesting me to create an assessment or suggest the questions or in having a conversation in this process. So find the keywords, describe the keywords, each of those consisting, as you can click, select, tap, and use, and more information related to the text, video, image automatically generated. So that could be 3D object, 2D objects, and the knowledge, even for you. I don't know how many of you, of course, tried to do microelectronics before, or electronic components, but even right now in this process, during this 1-hour webinar, we're already learning quite a lot about the potential use of this microelectronics in the real world. Okay, so if I will choose the assessment or suggested question, for instance, the AI once again will predict what will be the possible questions that I should use. For instance, what is a resistor?
A resistor is a component in an electric circuit that resists the flow of electric current.
And I can have that kind of a question, or I can build the assessment, which I can
Here
have.
are the generated assessments for this subject.
And I can generate like a challenge here.
Start quiz challenge. The timer begins when you press start.
And I can have a quiz in which, for instance, I will have a question.
What is the maximum voltage rating of the TIP 120 Darlington NPN 60 volts 5A transistor TO220 from Lentech.s?
And my, of course, guess if the name of the transistor is a 60 volts, so the answer will be 60 volts. And that's already there and already possible. So that's another thing. Do you have object from museum paintings? Yes, of course. If we will go in here and we can still add additional object, and I will actually do a little test in here. And if you're saying just a second, and maybe will be some errors, we'll find out. Just a second, languages, and I'll try to, I don't have I don't have, unfortunately, French, but I'll say Louvre Museum. And in here, we could find either Excel library that will be some of the objects, or in the Sketchfab, if we find there will be already object from the Louvre Museum that we can select, choose, or images as well, we can use those as well. And from Sketchfab, giving that example, if I choose the object like this environment and auto-generate the knowledge, and I'm going to place on the bottom, on the ground, it's going to download and load this.
Sorry, there is no assessment for this subject.
There is no assessment for the subject, but there is still a possibility. Tell me more about the Louvre Museum, when it was established, and what is the most famous exhibition in this museum?
Great question. Let me ponder it for a bit. The Louvre Museum was established in 1793 and is one of the largest museums in the world. It houses over 380,000 objects from prehistory to the 21st century. The most famous exhibition in the museum is the Mona Lisa.
So as you can tell or hear in here, there is a possibility to mix any kind of topics, depends on our needs. But it's still just a tip of the iceberg of the possibilities. We already use the voice, text-to-speech, voice recognition, image generation process, knowledge generation, portal generation. But there is also an ability to use the technology related to the GPS. And actually, as I'm having here, and I'm going to actually close this, and I'm going to discard this exercise, but I can save it, publish, assign the people to it, and share it. But I will show you right now that within the same process, Metaverse Builder, I'm going to place this avatar. Once again, just a second, because I done it too quickly. I need to go back. Starts a Metaverse Builder. I'm going to place the avatar somewhere here.
Hi. What would you like to do? Create.
And I'm going to choose the word explore. So right now, in the real world, I would like to generate AI guidance.
Welcome to Komorniki, Wielkopolskie, Poland. Did you know that the nearby Rogalin Palace houses one of the largest collections of ancient oak trees in Europe?
So by the way, it's already because
Please start by setting up a persistent anchor.
It's already following me the process and recognizing my GPS position. And I have ability, for instance, based on the real object, which I'm going to put those real objects from the electronics on my desk here. For instance, something like that. And I can create a persistent tracking anchor, and I can place it on the ground. I can place it on a different position and scan the environments and do the scanning and making sure that my environments, my real world environment is being taken into account when image recognition is being used. I'm going to take the picture that anyone who will walk into my basement with a similar GPS coordinates looking into my desk will be able to generate the real world.
Let's add a real world annotation. This will be one of the topics of this experience.
And I can add annotations to the real world object. So for instance, if I will do cancel here. Yes, I'm going to stop the wizard, but I can add the annotations.
I'm your AI guide. You can ask me anything.
I can add the annotation to real world objects. So for instance, Arduino Mega, and I can add these annotations to the real object, and they should be kind of popping up in a moment. Webcam. Then I will add additional annotation. For instance, here, the real object, clock. And you can see that I can have to the real world objects added my annotations. It's here already generated information about.
The Arduino Mega is a microcontroller board.
I'm going to stop the AI for interrupting me for a moment, but I have the ability to add additional, for instance, here, lighting.
The Arduino Mega has 54 digital
generating the
input/output
knowledge
pins,
so I can
which is
use
more
it.
than
So
any
that's
other
something,
Arduino
as I
board,
said, we are
making
still
it
in
ideal for
progress.
complex projects that require a lot of
Monitor.
inputs and outputs.
So the knowledge portal has been created here for the Arduino Mega. I have my own annotations like a webcam, lighting, and maybe I will add one more computer. And having a real world annotations right now, I can have a conversation with AI about the microcomputer, but also tell me what are the components that should be used when you're streaming your webinar online with the audience.
Great question. Let me ponder it for a bit. The components that should be used when you're streaming your webinar online with the audience are a computer with an internet connection, a webcam, and a microphone.
So in this case, the real world object could be actually also annotated, and real world object can be also included by the AI in the process of describing. So whenever these keywords are recognized, AI will be able to guide you through this process and guide you through those elements in the real world. So for instance, asking another question, can you tell me about the Arduino Mega? And in that case, also the real objects on my desk will be used.
The Arduino Mega is a microcontroller board based on the ATmega 2560. It is 54.
So once again, we have the AI supporting that. Okay, there are lots of things I was trying to show you here and doing a live presentation, which actually might requires even more time. But what I would like to do now, very briefly, is to summarize a few things. And in here, just we'll skip some of the slides with the following information. EON-XR is overall changing. EON-XR improving and using AI, like many other solutions around the world. If you will be interested into finding out more, or if you would like to have a conversations, discussions, or questions, you are more than welcome to join our Discord channel. So we have a Discord channel, which is the online communication format, especially used a lot of by the gamers and the students around the world. And if you would like to join that, discuss from a pedagogical, from a technical point of view, see some of the blog entries, please, you can scan this, and there is a Discord account. You can use this QR code to join us on Discord. You're more than welcome to do so. I will be looking into the question in a moment, but also if I will not be able to answer your question straight away, please, let's stay connected. I'm available on LinkedIn, as well as I would like to encourage you to follow EON's Reality social media, our website, www.eonreality.com, our YouTube channel. So if you're going to just search on the YouTube EON-XR or EON Reality on the YouTube, you're going to find plenty of tutorials, materials, micro-learning videos, and many others, as well as our LinkedIn channel, as well as LinkedIn profile of our chairman, who very often publish the latest and the newest ideas and the possibilities are related to the AI and the EON-XR development. Will this be a future feature rescale avatar? That's a good question, Rina. And I think there is already a possibility you can move the avatar, you can personalize the avatar. So my understanding is, of course, that this will be a possibility. As you said, this is not a question, it's actually information. So yes, we will have ability that the avatars will be able to be customized. And more importantly, there is also a plan that your avatars will be more looking like you. So there is already a technology allowing you to create a digital twin and having your avatar being you, so you could be an element. Absolutely, Hilario. Dan always posts the great updates. That's what Dan does. Absolutely. And follow him on LinkedIn, because it's always, I mean, I have to admit, I learn a lot from those different posts as well myself. So I think it's a useful thing to do. All right. Any questions, anyone? Can this avatar, can this patented? I not understand, Sandra. Be patented? I mean, you could make, I mean, first of all, of course, from a point of view of art, of the intellectual property, all the content you're creating in the platform based on the agreement in EON is your intellectual property with the technology that we provide. As per the AI, we're using a third-party solution, as I mentioned. Thank you, Megan. All right, guys, 6 o'clock my time. So enjoy the rest of your day and let's stay in touch. Thank you very much for attending this webinar. Thank you.